Working with the staff at Basira was nothing short of phenomenal. It was, they trained the teachers to be able to teach the material. They gave them the resources, had them even do some of the homework so they can put themselves into the shoes of the students that they were teaching, having them ask questions that they think their students might ask. And if there was, and in giving, any materials, all the materials that were needed, they were very helpful in making sure that the teachers had everything they needed in order to teach the course, that they knew the material, were ready to go, and that any questions that came up, they were there, responded properly and promptly, and were able to help to resolve them. So it was important for the course to run smoothly, to have that backing, and we did have that from the staff at Basira Education. Working with Basira was very instrumental in us sort of achieving the goals of our co-op and our mission. Sometimes as administrators and as a parent too, because I have children in our co-op, we don't always know exactly how to get to the end goal we want to achieve. And I think that was one of the big blessings with Basira, is that us having a mission, but not exactly knowing always how to get there, right? We're always making dua, Allah, show us, something that will help us to do what we want to do for our children. And finding Basira was sort of an answer to that dua. It was an answer to our duas. And so with the Why Islam is True course, things are laid out and given in a way in which you're like, that is what I wanted to give my child. That is what I wanted them to understand. And so it took some of that guesswork for us out of the picture. Things were laid out in the course in a nice way, in a way in which our children learned what we wanted them to learn, and that they came away with the things that we wanted them to come away with. And we didn't always have the words to explain, and that is what the course gave us. Alhamdulillah. The other thing that happened that was beneficial, that I think we didn't know and we couldn't anticipate, was that our students, our children taking the course, opened doors of communication between the students and their parents. That was a very beautiful outcome of the course, is that these things that they were learning, they were able to discuss it with their parents, be able to discuss matters of faith, different principles, and then also like different faiths, the creeds of different religions, being able to have these dialogues and exchanges with your child was very eye-opening, and strengthened bonds between parents and kids. So that was a huge benefit that we didn't expect. My name is Swiyya, and I am an administrator at Dean Homeschool Co-op. And one of our main missions here at Dean that's really important to our families and those of us who are involved in administrating the co-op is that we give our students, our children, everything that they need in order to be confident in their faith, and to know who they are as Muslims, to be comfortable in their skin, and be proud of their Muslim identity. So that's really important to us. We want them to have, of course, a strong faith and Islamic lens from which they view the world and everything that's going on in it. We want them to know that their faith, what they believe in, that Islam is true, and we want them to be able to communicate, right, the tenets of their faith and what they believe to anyone that they may meet, right? To anyone that they may come across outside, our bubble, what we call the bubble, which could be their families, or even our institution, Dean, right? When they go to interact out there in their clubs or sports, extra activities, or even higher education. And we think we really found that at Basira Education, an organization who has similar goals to us. And so that was so important for us why we chose to work with Basira Education, and they understood what our mission was, and we were so happy to work with them, and we weren't disappointed in that in the least. What we got when we started working with Basira Education and our children started taking the YSM is True course. We got what we needed, and we feel like we were helping our children get what they needed.